cinema matinee. I ain't got $7.50 to pay. Everybody now.
Yeah, this movie, Brooklyn's Finest, shouldn't this be in quotes like
Brooklyn's Finest, my ass? The original title.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we have several people in this film who have been in cop movies, who are cops in this film.
Yeah.
We have people who have been gangsters in movies, or gangsters in this film. We got the director of most of those movies. Right. No, actually, Anton Fuqua, who's like made one of my favorite movies ever, Training Day. I think when they were panning in one scene, and you did see Denzel Washington, King Kong ain't got Denzel. You're not in this one. Shut up, Denzel. Okay.
I got an Oscar.
Well, take it outside. Fuck you. But we cover the lives of 3 cops. They're interconnected only by the criminals and other cops that they just run into every now and then. One is a cop who's on the brink of retirement. Another is an undercover cop who has formed this bond with his target. And the last one is a narcotics officer who, because of all kind of family problems, is tempted to do some illegal
he's just
activity.
desperate.
Yeah, he's just desperate.
I mean, you look up desperate in the dictionary, and his picture is right there.
Yeah,
Well,
Right,
yeah, he's
right next to Cyrus, of course.
It's Ethan Hawke sweating his ass off.
just gritting his teeth and like, oh, I'm gonna do something illegal here. It's really great performances in this film, especially by Don Cheadle and Ethan Hawke was incredible, man. I mean, he really is the standout guy in this.
Even though all 3 characters are written really well, Gere just kind of is there.
See, I completely disagree with you.
Really?
Yeah, because to me, seeing Richard Gere in this, because it made me think of him way back when he did Internal Affairs. And I'm like, you know what? Richard Gere has the ability to play an intense character like this. And yet, I'm like, look at all the shitty romantic comedies he's been in.
We've seen all these other people in cop films, but what do they do with Richard Gere? They make him interact with whores. And one scene after another, and it's like, I'm sure he's like,
Maybe that's why I like him so much.
he's like,
You could identify.
No, he's already like, didn't I do this already? I'm trying to shake this
They
image.
just got a thing where, even when he's a cop, he's trying to save prostitutes. Even though it was a small part, I thought Wesley Snipes was awesome in this movie.
Yeah, he really was,
I mean, it was
actually.
like him reminding us, like, oh yeah, this guy actually can act when he's not doing those direct-to-video action flicks.
I would have expected him to just phone it in, especially since shouldn't he be in jail? But
I'm telling you.
He phoned it in and it was a collect call.
If you notice those cornrows in his head, it looked like he got straight out of prison and went to the set.
That's true.
In fact, in the movie, I was like, is he a guy out of prison or is he a dyke out of prison? I can't tell.
he was walking all funny.
Maybe that's why his acting was so good, because he was playing a guy who just got out of prison, and he may have just walked out of prison to show up on the set that day.
I got real world experience. Yeah. There are some performances in this movie which were bad, but I still enjoyed them. Ellen Barkin comes in, and she just plays this like hard as nails.
Yeah, she's chewing up scenery.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's
Been chewing up Metamucil at this point.
I know, yeah, just chewed up. I mean, she's an FBI agent who comes in. I mean, she's just over the top with her role, but it really is good to see. I mean, she's a character that you really love to hate, even though I would have to say it's one of the weakest performances.
Now you listen to me. You think you're a tough guy? Because you did undercover at Clinton Correction? You even survived a little incident there.
You know so much about me, and you got a case, bring it. But until that time, step off, dude.
It's a pessimistic film.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I mean, this movie just has no real hope.
Do not go in here with a date.
The movie is just taking itself so seriously with that darkness. These cops, they don't really interact with each other that much. But there's a scene that every now and then where they'll run into each other, and it's not the end of the movie where it all comes together in too much of a coincidence.
It's really more like 3 separate half movies that are all stitched together, because any one of these could have been expanded to its own movie. And what happens is you might dwell on 1 or 2 characters for so long, you forget that 3rd one is even in the movie.
I like the movie. I think it has some really strong performances. As much as I thought it was really cool the way they brought the stories together, I think that if they had just pulled back on that element a little bit, just a little bit more, they would have had a stronger film. So, yeah, you know, I give it a really low matinee.
I really loved this movie, and even with the problems I saw with it, I mean, maybe it's because right now I'm really into crime comics. You know, I just really enjoyed this on all levels. This is a full price to me.
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, I don't think it's a great movie. However, great performances, and that the way they kept up that intensity all the way through. I feel like if I told somebody, I mean, I'm going low full price, because I feel like if I told somebody, you know, hey, pay full price to see it, I don't think they're going to come back disappointed.
Now, Leon, you know, you and I being from the streets, you know,
Is that by the streets? You mean your house was on the edge of one?
I mean, how do you expect us to back our nice minivan out if there wasn't a street there?
Man, there were drive-bys all the time. We'd drive by the video store and the fast food
And
place.
the paperboy would drive by in the morning, he'd throw shit in our house.